What's going on, guys? Zennosh here, and today in this video of Calibria Crystal Guardians, I am presenting to you guys a guide on Succubus. She's an assist type unit who is so good at nearly any contents of the game. She's especially good for the arena contents and Vapor Dreamlands and Lair, and she's also really awesome for the Catacombs as well. Like, there is no such section or region or sector of this game where she is not really that good at. So we are gonna discuss about her skills, and obviously after skills we are actually gonna see like what sort of rune sets will really benefit her a lot. All right, so before starting this video, please do subscribe to my channel. All right, and now let's get started. She is a SS top unit at the level of 35. She will be having a total HP of 12,750. That's good. A defense is 948. Attack is 1045. That's actually a lot of attack for an assist unit, as a matter of fact. And speed. It's sweet. 109 speed, guys. That's a lot of speed right out there. That means like she is actually going to be a very fast assist unit, which you would really want to spam in the arena. So let's look into a skill tree right off the bat. First of all, let's start with the Charmed Whip. It attacks an enemy like for 2 times, and each attack deals a particular damage and has a 100% chance to sleep the target for 1 turn. 100 freaking percentage chance, guys. That's quite amazing. Sleep is a very good type of like negative status effect that you can inflict on an opponent to like disable them. Let's say you are in an arena battle, or let's say any kind of PvE battle, and you are going to have a bad situation from a particular opponent. Then what can you do is that like just disable them, right? So that like in their next turn they won't be able to use their attack or on the coming turn. All right, and if you can just do that, you can just make your opponent team very effectiveless. Because like usually in the team there usually are just only 1 or 2 main damage dealers or any sort of like negative status inflictors that can actually pose a very real threat to you guys. And if you can just like disable them through stun, sleep, petrify, or whatever that is so good. And at a 100% chance, wow, this actually gets into the strategical side. Okay, this is too good. 100% chance, really awesome. The next is this second skill, that is Dance of Terror. This summons souls to attack all enemies 3 times. Now that is pretty good. All right, a AoE attack for 3 times, a really good candidate for Desperation Rune State. Each attack deals 70% of attack and damage, 30% chance to dispel enemies, buffs, and affect targets with HP regen lock for 2 turns. Now the problem is that like it is only for like 40% chance. 40% chance may not really look that great, but you also need to consider that like she will be hitting all enemies like 3 times. So there is actually going to be a quite higher chance in those 3 times of like attacking. Okay, so that's pretty good. This type of like skill you can really spam, especially in the Catacombs, especially in the Magic Dungeon, where you really need to control the HP regen of that monster or dragon, whatever you call that, from the Magic Catacomb, right? So in that kind of cases, HP regen lock can actually be very, very useful. And to dispel the enemy's buff is pretty good as well, especially like in any kind of like like Catacombs. This is pretty good because when the bosses are pretty much buffed up with like attack buff, speed buff, regen, and stuff like that, they can be very, 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 very irritating and very powerful, and you might have really hard time taking them down. So getting rid of their buffs should be your main priority, and she can just deliver that. That's really awesome. This one is totally for PvE contents. Whereas for this one, the Fatal Whip, okay? This Fatal Whip all enemies with a Fatal Strike 3 times. Okay, this is another AoE skill, and again for 3 times. Okay? Each attack deals 100% of attack and damage and has a 100% chance to sleep enemies at the end of the turn for 1 turn. Wow, just look at that. 100% chance to sleep all enemies. This is really good, especially for arena. Wow, I mean like, wow. I mean like, just start the battle with this skill, and you can just make all the like most of the opponents sleep, especially if they have some sort of like really ridiculous amount of like effect resistance, then they might actually get rid of it. But usually they will fall into sleep if she actually goes first, and this will really give a tremendous advantage to you guys, because like even if they are really as fast as hell, when their turn comes, their turn will be nullified. They won't be able to do anything that turn because they already have that sleep status on them. Okay, so that's the thing right out there. This is really gonna help you a lot. So that means like what you can do is that like you can pick the opponent one by one. Okay, all the opponents won't be able to charge on you whenever their turn comes around, and they might not be a very big problem to you. You can just pick out an opponent, okay? Just hit that opponent, which might be a real threat to you. Take him down first, others will be sleeping. And thanks to her first skill, she also has like 100% chance to sleep a target. So just pick it up, okay? She's a very picky unit, okay? So good. Really good. I like it. Fatal Whip, definitely a very amazing PvP type or arena type skill. And it has only a 3-turn cooldown. Wow. How amazing. Now let's move into the next one. That's the third skill, first version. It's known as the Charm Wings. And now I just really love it. This is really a bread and butter for her, all right? Especially for the arena contents and obviously for any other content right out there. But for arena, this is a must. Spread Charm Wings to reduce all enemies' defense for 3 turns. 3 turns? 3 turns? Yeah. Increase all allies' attack for 3 turns. What? Yeah. And grant immunity to self for 1 turn. Amazing. This is too good. For 3 turns, wow, that's at first, like, you know, that's a very long duration of buff. Getting attack buff to the entire team is really good. Really gonna you know, like improve the damage output of the team, and also at the same time being able to reduce the enemy defense for like 3 turns. Wow, you are actually opening up a really golden gate towards the heavy damage output against your opponents. So in this case, let's say if you are going for the PvP battles, you can just start with her and use the Charmed Wings, and then the next turn when it's gonna be your main attacker damage dealer like Eve, right? Just use her ultimate skill and boom, voila. Your opponents will be right next to the staircase of heaven, okay? That's what this skill can actually really provide to you. Defense break can really multiply or amplify your damage really hardly. And on the top of that one, notching it up with the attack boost. What the hell? Yeah, that's OP. Okay, this one, I think it's really OP, and you can keep on charging it like every 4 turns. This is really good. This is really good, not only for PvP contents, but even for PvE contents, because being able to get this buff for 3 turns is already so good. 3 turns is a very long period of time, okay? This Charmed Wings, really amazing. Now let's move into the next passive. Passive, Peaceful Sleep. It says, own attacks will not awaken sleeping enemies. Okay, each time an enemy is slept successfully, 100% chance to recover the 50% of own energy. A 100% chance to recover the 50% of own energy, meaning like she will be super duper fast, guys. Okay, this is really great, and provided that she has 100% chance to inflict the sleep with her second skill and her first skill. Wow, I mean, like, they can really combo a lot with this Peaceful Sleep. Okay, this passive Peaceful Sleep is gonna really help her out to become a, you know, like a sleeping monster. Okay, maybe a Freddy. Yeah, there we go, guys. But the problem is that if you actually hit a sleeping enemy again with the other unit, they will just wake up, and it's pretty much like resetting. Okay, it doesn't feel like as if like anything happened to them. Okay, so that's the thing right out there. That means like she should only be the one to harass the sleeping enemies, whereas your allies should be harassing the other opponents who are not asleep, who are awake. All right, and now let's move on to the next one. That is going to be the passive Final Word. Upon dying, 100% chance to erase all allies' negative status effects. Amazing. And restore all of their HP and energy. Okay, this is pretty awesome as well. But I really don't think like I would really love to use it like all the time, unless I know that she is going to die for sure. If she is going to die, then yeah, I might actually go with this one. Okay, if I'm pretty sure that like yes, she is actually gonna die. And the problem is that like it also has a total of 6 turns of cooldown. And you might be asking like, if she's gonna die, why cooldown? I mean, like, come on. It might even have like revivers, like Valkyrie, let's say Celine, and many other units who can pretty much revive her out. Okay, I think Pharaoh, right? Not Pharaoh, not Pharaoh. Cleopatra. Sorry about that. My mind is messed up. So, it really can provide a lot of utilities on your disposal. So, these are the reasons that she is really amazing for like nearly any content out there. She is a very good assist unit with a lot of utilities that she can provide on the table, and this is just really good, guys. Whereas for the leader skill in the arena battles only, for all allied heroes, she's gonna provide a 55% resistance. Wow, especially if you are really going to fight against those kind of opponents who are really good at inflicting negative status effects on you guys, then this can actually really be very, very handy. Especially like, let's say, even in the opponent team, they might have Succubus. Even in the opponent team, they might have Medusa, Popo, a Shaman, like those kind of units who can pretty much cripple up all your allies. Then in that case, having this kind of leader skill can actually be useful. But in general cases, I really don't see any kind of like uses for this skill though. So now let's move into the rune set. What sort of runes is gonna help this amazing sexy lady very nicely, okay? Guys, when it comes to the runes, I only can think of only two types of rune that is gonna really help her out a lot. The first one being the Agile. Of course, if you really want to become the first one to channel out your skill right off the bat when the battle starts, then Agile rune is going to be the best, especially for the arena contents. Agile rune is going to be a must, okay? It's going to be a must-have rune set. Because with the four pieces, she is going to get a total of 25% speed boost. That's going to really allow her to be the first one to cast her skill right out of the bat, okay? Meaning like being able to decreasing the defense of the opponents for like 3 turns, and also increasing the attack of the allies for 3 turns. That is so good. Okay, and if you can just channel it right off the bat, it's gonna be really amazing. Or at least you can go with the second version of her second skill and try to make, you know, all of your opponents go to sleep, and that can also give you a lot of advantage during the battle phase, isn't it? Okay. And with the 6 pieces, saves 15% of energy at the end of the turn, which is also really good, as you can notice from the third version of skill, third skill, second version. You can see that like she will be regaining a lot of energy right after she is successful in making the opponent sleep, right? So with this kind of like thing going on around, she will be getting her next turn really fast. She is gonna channel out her skills pretty fast, which in turn will really help her to like resetting her skill cooldown very fast as well. So that's pretty good. You are never gonna go in the disadvantage, guys. This is pretty great. And the next rune set that I really want to offer to you guys is gonna be obviously the Berserk rune set. This one is gonna be really useful anywhere, any content. Whether you say for the PvP contents, but you really have to work out on her like speed substats. But when you are talking about like the general story contents, or like the chapters, or let's say the PvE contents, or like let's say the Vapor Dreamlands, layers, and those kind of thing. Oh my god, Catacombs, Berserk rune is gonna be the best thing right out there, provided that her fast skill has a really good chance to make the opponent sleep. 100% chance to make the opponent sleep, guys. That is not a joke, okay? That's something really serious. So being able to do that over and over again frequently, and being able to provide a lot of like utilities on the table right off the bat, this can really make your Succubus really amazing. Contrary to the Agile rune set, if you can really manage to give a lot of speed stat boost on her like substats, oh my, go with the Berserk rune right off the bat. You know why? Because just being able to proc a lot of skills right off the bat is gonna really help you a lot. I mean, like, just think about it. If you are going to use her ultimate skill, okay, and then you are also gonna have another turn, and then you are also gonna use your second skill, wow, I mean, like, that is gonna be a massive disadvantage to your opponents. A massive disadvantage indeed. 30% chance to proc is not really that bad, in my opinion. Okay, so you can just really go with that one. Whereas for the primary stat, okay, for this kind of runes, what sort of primary stat or main stat should you really focus for? On the second slot, please go with the speed boost. I mean, like, speed is gonna be her main priority, guys, and luckily she also has a lot of speed stats on her basic stat, so I'm pretty happy about that one as well. So speed boost as the primary stat whatsoever on a second slot, okay? Whereas in the fourth slot, please try to go with the HP percentage boost, no matter what, okay? Or you can go with the defense percentage boost as well. Any kind of, like, you know, defensive type of unit, HP percentage boost or defense percentage boost, both are actually gonna work pretty much the same. Whereas for the sixth slot, please try to go with the hit percentage boost, okay? Just try to go with the hit percentage, because, like, she has a lot of negative status effects that she really needs to inflict on the opponents. So that means she is gonna require a lot of hit, guys, a lot of hit stats, so that, like, she will have easier time on landing those kind of debuffs, or let's say the negative status effects on the opponents. So try to go with the hit percentage boost right over there. So again, I would say for the second slot, speed boost, fourth slot, defense percentage or HP percentage boost. Whereas for the sixth slot, please try to go with the hit percentage boost, okay? And for the substats, it's pretty much easy. Go for the speed boost, HP percentage boost, defense percentage boost, and hit percentage boost. These are the main four substats that's going to really help you a lot in shaping her out to be one of the really fearsome, amazing unit in the entire game of the Calibria Crystal Guardians. She can really, you know, cripple down the opponents, guys. She has that potential to cripple down the opponents, magnify the damage output against your opponents. Wow, what more do you want? And she is fast as hell. She's freaking fast, okay? So that's all, guys. This is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. If you guys have your own insights and feedbacks or criticisms, please let me in the comment section below. We can really discuss about that one, all right? So see you guys in the next video.